Alright, hey everyone, my name is Sammy and welcome to first episode in a new Stream Theory series. Playing an entirely new game. I finished one game before, the last game I played Assassin's Creed 4, and now I'm trying something new. This one is Costume Quest 2. So hopefully everything goes well. I am, every new game a little nervous that there might be technical difficulties, but considering the smaller scope of this game, the less demanding, graphical experience for my hardware at least, I should be able to stream this game at least a little bit better than the previous games I've played. So, since it is less demanding, I think it's going to be alright on my hardware. So, since this is the first time I've streamed this, I just want to make sure everything is going well. This is like literally the first thing you see when you boot up the game. You just see, well, the title come down, and then you see this portal. So these portals give me access to options, and I guess this is where I start the game, Mysterious Portal. So there are a lot of things I can talk about in the first episode of this game, considering there's a lot of things I can talk about, but I think I want to get that done after the game has done its introductory sort of phase, and then when I have a little bit more time, I can get right into the nitty-gritty of details and such. So everything looks fine on the stream. Sounds good as well. And one thing I'm just gonna look out for in terms of fixing is maybe stuff like the camera placement, sound levels, whatnot. But for now, let's let the game play. What if this portal sends us to a crazy monster world like last time? Do you have a better idea? No, I guess I'm just worried about Mom and Dad. We've been gone for a while. I wonder if I should actually act these out. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just read it to know where. Let's give people ample time to read the text here, but I'm not sure about acting them out. Maybe later on I'll try acting them out. I'll just read them like normal. Is that the portal home? I don't see any properties that would indicate a destination. Sure, it's fine, Everett. Hop in. Me? I'm not going first. There could be level 20 kobolds in there or something. Not it. I need to collect more empirical data by observing you guys entering first. Yeah, and I'm her research assistant. After you then, Reynold. I've hogged way too much glory from you already, sis. You should go first. But you're an eyeball. You'll be able to see the monsters better. You'll send your own brother into a strange portal by yourself. You're the monster. If only one of us is going to survive, Mom and Dad would want it to be me. Why, you little... Guys, stop fighting. The only statistically fair way to decide this is to flip a coin. Fine, fine. Okay, loser goes first. Call it in the air. Heads, tails? I mean tails and heads. Lay it on us, Everett. Who's going in first? Yeah, don't keep us in suspense. Okay. So this is, I get to choose who I'll be playing as. I think I played the first Costume Quest as the boy, so I think maybe now I will play as the girl here. Wren, aw man. Congratulations. Alright, so one thing I like about this so far is they fixed an issue I had with the dialogue here. So the dialogue you can actually skip through as you're reading it, depending on your own reading style. You hit A. I think the first one of my complaints that I had was that it ran at its own pace. It stayed on for a few seconds, the dialogue bubble, and then would move on to the next dialogue sentence. And what I wanted, the first thing was to just be able to press A through them like every single other game that has dialogue that you read rather than, voice dialogue. So, I don't know why they chose dialogue that ran at its own pace rather than your own. But I would much rather have it this way. Trick or treat, and hit A, to move on with the dialogue sequence. Hey guys, we're home. I had a good feeling about that portal. Something feels off though. It wasn't Halloween when we left. Well, that actually makes total sense. It does? These portals are likely wormholes through space-time. We probably just experienced a little time dilation. Yeah, Everett, duh. So we're time travelers? Sort of. We did some quantum stuff. Nobody can actually travel through time. Hey, isn't that Dr. White? Why is he so fidgety? The dentist always gives me the creeps. Who cares about him? Let's go to my house and sort our candy. Good idea. I need to unload all my licorice on you guys. We should check in with Mom and Dad first, though. We'll meet you there in a few minutes. Okay, see you soon. Come on, Lucy. Last one there is a rotten egg. Okay. Alright, so getting through a little bit of introductory stuff here, and just getting feel for the game so far. From what I played in the last costume quest, it's about what I expect. A direct continuation of the story. Now, I played the first costume quest around the time it came out, or around the time it came out on PC, rather. I didn't play it on the consoles where it first came out. So, even then, it was a little while ago, so I just only remember some details about the story that happened in Costume Quest. But it seems like from what I remember, it takes place directly after they were in some sort of space-time thing, and they had these portals, and then the first thing you do is jump into a portal, get back into your world here. So, keep in mind that I am, as I said before, I am still getting a feel for the game. Like things like camera placement, I will fix as I go along. Right now I'm in the top right corner. If I need to move it anywhere else, if there's like user interface stuff that the camera is blocking, I will move it to some other corner or some other place. Now you can see right away that this game is a lot less user interface heavy than, say, an Assassin's Creed 4 or something like even Dark Souls. This chooses a much more minimal interface, and I bet the interface will come up when necessary. So whenever that appears, that's when I will determine where I need to move my camera. And I can even move my camera right now. It shouldn't be too difficult to move it to a different corner or even change the size of it. So, right now I just sort of guesstimated where I need to put it. So, alright, so there's a lot I can talk about Costume Quest. As I said, the first game, I can talk about the first game. I can also talk about the developers, Double Fine, who made this game, and their history of games, many of which I have played. I can talk about indie games in general, because this is a smaller budget indie game. I believe it was even self-published by Double Fine for the most part, at least on the consoles, and then they had additional funding from a smaller publisher to publish on PC. So there's a lot that I could talk about, but I think I want to get through a little bit more story, and then once I get into the feel of the game, I can talk about a lot of different things. So the first thing they wanted to do was talk to their parents, which I believe these people here. Alright, so hey Dad. Hi there, Wren. Are you excited for the Halloween block party? Halloween block party? Sounds awesome. Should be. I guess we'll see you over there in a bit. We're just waiting for Mrs. Putterpam. She needs help setting up her pie table. Okay. Talk to the mom. Hi kids. I was wondering where you guys were. Hi Mom, we're just checking in. How responsible of you. How long have we been out playing again? Who knows? I just got up from a nap. Don't stray too far, kids. The Halloween block party is going to start soon. Alright, so it probably hasn't been actually too long. Now, for these kids, they've had an entire adventure in some sort of... I believe they went to some sort of mystical land where they fought with gremlins or something like that. We'll find out a little bit later what they'll fight. And this is just a continuation of the story. They're back to their normal home, their neighborhood, where they're trick-or-treating. And it seems like no time has passed their parents only had a nap, and so to them, we just been out for a little while. So let's see. I believe the dad gave us a little bit of a clue as to where we're supposed to go to continue on with the story. Hi there, Wren and Reynold. Yeah, block party. See the bear. We're just waiting for Ms. Potterpan. She needs help setting up her pie table. Okay, so I guess that's our clue. Ms. Potterpan needs help setting up her pie table. We gotta go find out where Ms. Potterpan is, set up her pie table, and we can get things flowing. These are the types of clues that you want to look into. But you know, you don't have to be this attentive. You don't have to be so like into reading the dialogue here and into the experience. I mean, you can just get through this by just wandering around and interacting with the environment, and eventually you will find exactly where you need to go. So, things you do in this game, when I remember, is, well, you are largely trick-or-treating. You're trick-or-treaters, you and your sibling, whoever you pick, and you're just, well, looking for candy for now. Innocent enough, not much to it. And we'll find out later what collecting candy means, what you can do with that candy. But I guess a good place to start with this playthrough, a new game, is maybe why I picked this game. Well, for one, Costume Quest 2 has been a game that has been on my to-play list for quite a while now. Well, since it came out. I bought it around the time it came out, which was last year in 2014. It came out, you know, around the time of Halloween, so right about, you know, this time last year. It's almost exactly a year old at this point. Maybe a little over a year old. And it came out a little bit before Halloween, but then I think there was a Halloween sale, and that's when I picked this game up for a little bit cheaper than it originally came out. However, it is the case where I just didn't end up playing the game right away, and I then went into the big back burner pile where a lot of Steam games end up, or a lot of, in general, games that I buy off sales end up. That's one thing. That's another thing I can talk about, the phenomenon of buying games on sales and then never playing them, or playing them way later. Let's see what she says. I can't wait for the Halloween block party. Alright, so that's another little clue, another impetus of a big event that's going to come up. Halloween block party, maybe you want to participate in that or get that going. So the block party needs to be amazing to justify this wait. So why I picked this game is, well, I've been wanting to play it for about a year now, and another reason is it's the right season. We're fast approaching Halloween now. It's the right time. So even though, judging by my track records of these playthroughs, streaming live, it takes me a few months even for shorter games to complete. I'm gonna end up going beyond the season. However, it's a good place to start anyhow, regardless of how long it'll end up taking. And even if it's off-season, when I finally finish this game, I don't think that's that big of a problem. This is an adorable game to play. Or, from what I remember from the original Costume Quest, that was an adorable game to play. Even off-season, I would play that at any time of the year. So, to start, it is the right season, and to play through beyond in the next few months or so, it'll be totally fine to play this off season, because my guess is if it's at least the same quality as the first game, it'll be enjoyable nonetheless. So that's another reason why I picked this game. And I think the third reason is I wanted a game that was as different as possible from the games I've done previously on my Stream Theory playthroughs. So stuff like Alien Isolation, stuff like Dark Souls, and then Assassin's Creed 4. Those I've identified are, largely bigger games, bigger budget games. So I figured I want to get in maybe a smaller budget game from a smaller developer. And Costume Quest seemed to, be one of those games on the list. So adding to the other reasons that I mentioned before, that helped me narrow it down to this game. It seems the Costume Quest seemed to be right place, right time for my next game. I'm Lincoln, okay, not Amish. Okay, that's kind of funny. So right now we're just collecting candy because we are trick-or-treaters. See what she says here. Officer Nichols, hey kids, you can't come through here just yet. They're still setting up for the Halloween block party. Alright, so I guess this is a deliberate sort of gating where they don't want you to head in this direction just yet. They want to maybe funnel you over. By they, I mean, you know, the developers of the game and just the game itself. I could refer either way. The game wants to funnel you to the, you know, major impetus for going forward here. The major action at the outset to motivate the action and story going forward from this part. So, you know, opening up the entire neighborhood right up front is not really productive. They want to bring you to the main event right away. So it's okay. Normally I don't like this sort of gating to happen, but I guess they justified a story reasons that the block party is going to happen here, and they're still setting up. So okay, there's a good motivating reason as to why they're blocking it off. But there's also good story reason or in-game reason for that to happen. Is because they want you to make sure you go to the right place sooner rather than later, and on top of that, it helps you from being overwhelmed when you're just starting the game. Maybe they let you explore a smaller environment and they slowly open it up over the course of the game. The game itself slowly opens itself up as you go forward, as you get more and more comfortable with the world at hand. When are they going to let us in? I don't have this kind of patience. This anti-bullying movement is really cramping my style. I gotta find a new shtick. Alright, so this shifty dentist is probably going to... Where's that fool? My instructions couldn't have been more explicit. How could he be late? He controls time. Better not be backing out of this deal. The nerve of this town throwing a Halloween party on my block. No one thought to ask me. Well, they soon will see what I think. So, okay, the funny thing here is that because he's a dentist, he's sort of anti-Halloween, or in terms of anti-candy. He doesn't want people getting tooth decay, or kids getting tooth decay from all the sugar and the gingivitis feeding on that sugar. They love to feed on sugar stuck in teeth and whatnot. So dentists are the natural villain for, at least for kids. Sort of a clever writing twist or a clever twist that only Double Fine would be able to think up. Their sort of cute and comedic style of games that they have done so far. I'm like totally reserving judgment on the block party. Okay. Dr. White just told me that candy does what candy does to your teeth. He totally harshed my mellow. Right. I don't know if this dentist is going to be the main villain of the game, but he's maybe the sort of initial antagonist, I guess, of Halloween in general. Alright, maybe I need to talk to this guy. Hey, Dr. White, what are you doing out here? Can't you see that I'm busy? Do I look like I want to be interrupted by an eyeball? Why don't you go brush your teeth? I can smell the sugar on your breath. Yeah, it sounds like fun. We'll think about it. Okay, so nothing... Man, what cramped up Dr. White's rump? He always kind of gave me the creeps. Now he totally gives me the creeps. Okay, it looks like these should be able to interact with some of these pumpkins. You know, everything has candy here. Just sort of bash them and collect the candy as we go. We'll find out later what the candy will do. Okay, so not sure why fire hydrants would have candy in them, but whatever. It's a video game. Candy hidden everywhere. They just want to give you a reason to explore the entirety of the environment, and You know, bash things with your little bag, your trick-or-treating bag, to collect candy. Be diligent in your collecting, and then you'll be rewarded later on. Okay. Couldn't even hit the characters in the... Everett and Lucy said you'd be moseying up here, but watch out for that big weirdo on their lawn. Stranger danger. So I'm wondering if that's the weirdo right there. Alright, so here's the major story moment, I guess, to set things off. Out of the way, brats. Hey, watch it. There you are, you're late. We said we'd meet by the alley. What are you doing over here? You're a time wizard. You have no excuse for being tardy. Anyway, let's get down to business. Are you ready to pay your debts? Curious. At last, now I will take what's mine. Nothing like a good old shifty dentist to act as your story's antagonist. Did you see that? I'm standing right here. Wahaha! I have it. It is mine. With this talisman, I have unlocked the monster gate. The repudians are free. And now I can use them to rid the world of candy and Halloween. My dental hygiene utopia is within my grasp. You know, that doesn't sound so bad. Dental hygiene. However, to a child who loves candy, who loves Halloween, I can imagine why that is a nightmare. Why it is so anti-fun. Oh no. Our costumes. What's happening? Wren, Reynold, this way quickly. Alright. So, this is mostly, from what I remember, a retread. Same sort of conflict of the original game. I believe was a similar problem where they were trying to cancel Halloween. Maybe it was this dentist, I can't remember exactly, this dentist again. And he's still trying to cancel Halloween. So it's up to us to try and save it. Fight this race of repudians. I can only imagine that that's how you pronounce it because I guess it's derived from the word repugnant. So, okay, why can't I ever land on my feet? That was crazy. What in the heck just happened? You just traveled to the future, kid. Okay, so that's this game's sort of twist, is that this is happening in the future. Wren, Reynold, it is so good to see you again. Do we know you? Don't you recognize us? It's Everett and Lucy. Oh, wow. They've grown up, and guess what, guys? We're married now. What? I knew it. I knew you had the hots for Everett. Guilty as charged. Haha, I wish we had more time to catch up, but we need your help with something urgent. Oh yeah, we need to hurry. We don't have much time. We need to get another time hole open, but you guys will need costumes for this. We're not at the shed in the backyard. We've got a couple stashed there that you can borrow. Be very careful not to be seen by anything. What do we need costumes for? Hurry, they know we're here. We'll tell you more when you get back with those costumes. Alright. So you got a quest. To view it, there we go. Quests. Active quests. A favor for Everett and Lucy. Everett and Lucy brought us to the future to help them with something. We're supposed to get some costumes out of Everett's shed in the backyard. So it looks like Everett, or future Everett and Lucy, came back to the past and asked our protagonists, Wren and Reynold, to travel with them to help them with something. We'll find that out later. So things are starting to pick up here, like that. Things are happening very fast, and where the story is getting to the point right away, rather than being deliberately mysterious or deliberately ambiguous as to what you're going to do. So point is not yet here, but we're going to find out soon. And we've already been introduced to the main players, the dentist, the repugians, I have to imagine. So alright, so got some menu stuff, costumes to collect, and this is quest. So I might as well introduce in general what Costume Quest is. I talked about why I picked it, but as far as the game itself, Costume Quest is a game developed by, as I said, the developers at Double Fine. Long history of making these sort of small experience, but they are short but sweet games. Very high quality story writing, very high quality writing, story narrative, and very clever, very comedic sort of gameplay. Top of that, this is a sort of role-playing game, an RPG, and what I mean by that is that you don't just play a role. It's not just a literal sense of the word, but you are also it is the key defining feature of a role-playing game as I identify it is that you have a character with a lot of stats, and those stats matter in the course of the experience and what you do, your actions that you do, the combat, for instance. Those stats have an effect, and over the course of the game you level up these stats, you upgrade these stats as you gain more experience. So that's the key element here, the sort of stat tracking of your characters, as well as upgrading those stats in a sort of completely custom manner, depending on how you want to upgrade your characters, how you want to play the game. And this goes back to, classic pen and paper RPGs, like for instance, the big one is Dungeons and Dragons, which is still very popular today. And the big key element there is the stat tracking. Each character has his or her own stats that impact everything they do in the world. Alright, so let's get some more stuff going here. So that's a brief rundown of what Costume Quest is. Of course, the big central theme of Costume Quest is the Halloween-centric storyline. You're trick-or-treating, and it's sort of everything revolves around the Halloween theme, including combat. It's like a trick-or-treating style of combat, even. We'll see what that means later on. Enough explanation. Let's just keep going. As I said, I'm just going to try and weave in my thoughts on the game, my explanations as I go on. But I don't want to just halt here forever. I'm going to keep on going. Where did you say the costumes are again? They're just in the shed in the backyard. You need to hurry. What are you doing? I'm opening another time hole, but you need those costumes. Hurry it up, guys. Okay. So first little mission to get us going here. Still, the game is doing its sort of tutorializing phase, setting up the story while also introducing us to the main gameplay elements. So the main element we've seen so far is the quest, what we're supposed to do at any given time. If we need to refer to something, we refer to the menu, and also introducing us how to use the menu and whatnot. So we can always access our quests here, remember what we're supposed to do. So the costume is the current quest. So we're starting out small, and we're just going to get slowly bigger quests over time, more long-term quests. This is a very short-term quest to sort of introduce us. Oh, we're also another nice little. What this is doing right now is introducing us to the setting of the game, and this is very much a sort of typical futuristic setting, telling us, hey, you are definitely in the future. We don't know exactly when you are. Probably, judging by the age of our friends there, something like 20 to 30 years in the future, where everyone has flying cars and very glowy neon lights. Naturally, drawing from very popular elements of our Western culture's idea of the future. So we're hit with that right away as we, everything looks. You can comment on this. Everything looks fairly normal as we start out here. Things don't look too futuristic. I mean, this sort of homestead could exist in our time right now, but I guess they deliberately designed that so that, to ease you in and not hit you with that right away. That when you go outside, that's when you're hit with the whole future. Oh, you're definitely in the future, and this is a sort of I don't know, expository shot. Maybe the equivalent of a, what are they called in movies? A sort of long shot. I know there's a specific term for this type of shot. Oh, establishing shot. Now we're establishing the setting here. So we're definitely in the future, and we're gonna see what that means. All right, so our costumes are supposed to be in here. Costumes are our main ticket for combat in this game. We'll see why that is. Seems kind of silly right now. Why would costumes be related to combat? And well, we'll see that they will come into play as we get into combat. Right, well, the game is not introducing the combat just yet. We're still easing our way into the game, as I said. But we'll see that. We'll probably see combat pretty soon, as it'll introduce that concept and teach us all about it. Oh man, not this stupid candy corn costume again. Alright, so this is also... Alright, we got a story moment. Never mind. I'll explain a little bit later what is going on here. Wonder if we'll see combat right now. Maybe not just yet. Okay, not just yet. You kids shouldn't be outside with costumes on. You know the law. What law? We're from out of town. No candy, no costumes. It's ridiculous, I know, but it's Overlord White's world now. That dental drone would have nabbed you if he hadn't been here to stop it. Thanks, but we can handle ourselves. I believe that you believe that, but I want to see for myself. Let's see how good you are with that superhero costume. Okay, so maybe, yes, looks like we are getting into combat. So, when we get into combat, it sort of translates into the kids' imaginations. They're able to live out the roles that they're playing in their costumes. So she has a superhero costume on. She becomes a superhero in the world of the combat. And I really like that idea. It's a very unique idea that hasn't really been done before in video games, at least since the first Costume Quest. But that's, the Costume Quest 1 introduced this sort of thing where the child's imagination is able to define the world around them and define how this game works in terms of experience and combat, everything around them. So when we do the combat, we're transported into the world of their imagination, where their imagination is able to sort of superimpose what they think is happening. Their superhero powers become real. Their imagination comes in manifests into a reality. So, okay, show me what you've got. So, this is a first combat encounter. We're being introduced to what that means, and right now we have a flying fist attack. Let's hit that. Fairly simple, not bad, but your timing could be better. Try hitting the attack button again at the moment of impact. You will see the indicator above my head. Alright, so I first activate the attack, and then there will be a timing-based thing. I don't know if I got it right that time. I'll have to do better than that, so I didn't get it quite right. But as I go on, I'll get more used to the timing. There we go. Got the timing right. Well done. See if you can do it again. This is the basic attack. I don't think I got it that time. Still getting used to it. So right away, what I like about this combat is that you have to pay attention to what's going on, and it's not simply about selecting attacks from a menu, like say a traditional turn-based RPG would have you do. The timing element keeps you actively engaged in the proceedings of the combat. Adds a little bit more interactivity than a standard menu-based turn-based system, what we're seeing here. So this is essentially a turn-based system still, but that timing element adds a little bit more to the action. So what'll happen here is that, you know, I'll do my attacks and the enemies will do their attacks. There will be a certain order in terms of their overall initiative. So, and we'll take turns. That's why it's called a turn-based combat system. Happens not in real time, but one after the other, attack after attack, enemy, then hero, enemy, then hero, so on and so forth. So yes, you are getting it once more. So once more, so I can be sure it wasn't luck. Okay, sure. Got it. Okay. So there'll be other elements like that. The combat will get more complicated as we go on, as our characters level up. They'll eventually get more complex attacks that will require more timing-based things to do. So there is a little bit element of skill to making sure you time your attacks right. And if you do time your attacks right, you get a reward. You get the full amount of damage rather than a smaller amount. You are as good as you say. You have a furious attack, that is clear, but how strong is your defense? Try the same technique, but now time the point of impact during my attack. If you're good enough, you can weaken my attacks. Ready yourself. So, I think I got it right. Well done, you deflected my attack. Once more. Yes, you are taking reduced damage. One more time. I'm not sure if I got that one. Oh, I got it. Great block. I thought I had you. I thought that might have been a little off. Okay, you've convinced me that you can defend yourself. Just one more thing. As you land attacks on the enemy or take damage, your special meter will fill up. When you filled it all the way, your special ability will unlock. Looks like you're really close to unlocking yours. Let me help you along. Aha, there you go. Now it's full. Give it a try. Alright, so far as I'm looking, there isn't a whole lot of interface stuff in the way. I think my camera placement is okay. Looks like the 3 corners are filled up with interface stuff. There's the enemy stats on the bottom right, there's my stats on the bottom left, and then there's the regular action interface in the top left. So it looks like my camera placement was a good choice, and I think I'll stick with that for now. The only thing I have to think about is maybe the camera size. If it needs to be a little bit smaller, look at that in the final video. So let's do normal combat now, because I have let's do this flying fist attack. Or actually, no, I want to do my special attack. That's what he wants me to do. Sweet justice. Let's see what that means. Super damage. Ouch! I deserve that. All right. That's all I have to teach you right now. So that looks like introduce us to the basics of combat right now. The whole timing-based system, and all, as well as building up to your special attack to do the massive amounts of damage to close out your encounters. So, very nice introduction there. Whew, alright, so, there was one thing I wanted to say about something, but then the story interrupted there. Yeah, I don't know. When I look back at the archive, that's when I'll remember, oh, I should have talked about that. Alright, so if I can't remember, I'll just keep on going then. I was the best fighter in Repugia. I don't know if it's Repugia or Repugia. Repugia kind of makes more sense, but Repugia has more of a flow to it, more of a ring to it. Now I teach kids basic moves. That's fine, I guess. I've taught you all I can for now. Okay. So, continue on. We got our costumes. That's our main quest done for now. And let's continue the story. We'll find out what everything is all about. So I wonder, this will probably not just be about the future, but since we have access to time travel, apparently, we'll probably be hopping through time, and that'll be the main twist on this game versus the previous game, is that we will be time travelers on top of trick-or-treaters. Okay, let's head back to. All right, good. You found your costumes. I've got the time hole open to the past. You can enter when you're ready. What are you supposed to do there? To find a family of witches guarding a monster gate. I don't know where they are exactly. I'm sending you just before Dr. White went back. You have to find them before he does. Okay. Looks like some mean stuff is happening. Do you know you have a crest whaler living in your backyard? He told us that candy was illegal. Halloween is illegal. No candy or costumes. Once Dr. White opened the monster gate, he brainwashed them into helping him obliterate all of it. That's depressing. Why do we need to go back? Why didn't you guys go? Somebody has to stay back to protect the time hole. You wouldn't want someone to close it and trap you in the past, would you? I guess we wouldn't. I don't know how long I can hold this. You have to go now. Guys, they are onto us. Go find those witches and stop Dr. White. It looks like we're dealing with a time-traveling dentist who has found a way to make sure that he has implemented his anti-Halloween and anti-candy agenda on the entire world. Using time travel, of course. Alright, so we gotta go back to the past. Prevent this from happening. That's my understanding so far. Okay, so we've learned about the story, about the major players, and what we're supposed to do. Supposed to guard, try to save Halloween, I suppose, is our objective from the evil anti-Halloween dentist. Where are we? I don't know, but these time holes are messing with my guts, I think. Well, I guess we'd better start looking for those witches. Backwater Bayou, the past. Interesting. Alright, first time in the past, how about we just hit an alligator? Sure. No worries there. Sure, totally fine. You can just hit an alligator. Just get the candy trapped inside the alligator. Yep, that makes total sense. Okay. Guessing these are the witches. Did we find the witches? No, false alarm. These are standard human children. They do not have the talisman we seek. You're looking for the witches too, huh? Well, that's too bad for you. Why do you say this, human child? If you're looking for the witches, then that means you're in our way. Ha! Do you think you can deter us? We are shards of the Chronoculus. We are everywhere. We cannot be stopped. Alright, looks like our first real proper combat sequence. See what this means. We'll have access to both characters here. So might as well do a flying fist attack. You can pick either guy, but it doesn't really matter, they're the same. Test out our timing skills. If Candy Corn had arms, this fight would be so over. Alright, so each character has their own dedicated button, and that works for both attack and defense. So I had to quickly determine which character they're attacking, so I can properly press the right button and time it. It's actually pretty cool way of handling this turn-based combat and keeping you actively engaged. So let's keep attacking this guy, whittle him down. The timing done. Yeah, I might have missed that one. Candy Corn is just seeing something. Alright, so it looks like the candy corn, while he can't attack, he is our major defense, our wall. While our superhero is the primary attacker. Nice. Guess that means Candy Corn has no more moves. Let's keep attacking here. I think I missed that one. There we go. That's better. Don't expect much from Candy Corn. At least Candy Corn is a pretty good wall. So I wonder if the sort of special attack meter, if that carries over between combat sequences. If not, then it would require a lot of or a more meaty combat, a longer combat sequence before I can even use it. Then it'll become like our finishing move. But we'll find out as we do more combat. Alright, looks like this is a way to refill our health and save the game. Okay. So that's what I observe. I can tell right away that the game has a little bit more graphical oomph and special effects compared to the previous game, the first Costume Quest. Some nice little shimmering water there, and a lot of nice little a lot of nice effects going on. And give it a little bit more fidelity compared to the previous game. However, it still stays true to its original like cartoony art style. Cartoony, but I don't know how to describe it. The environments look generally like it's sort of halfway between cartoony and realistic, while the characters themselves are the more obviously animated cartoon art style. Hey y'all, don't just stand there holding your pails, help me. Whoa, what are you doing with that gator? Some of my girls got loose and thought it would be funny to rip up my costume on Halloween. That looks dangerous, why don't you just let her have it? I worked all week on my costume, I'm not about to let these gators ruin my night. Look around and see if you can find the other pieces, I've got this one handled. And hurry up before Gertie gets all bitey on my arms. Alright, so looks like we have a new quest. That is to find this person's costume pieces. Did you grind up my costume pieces yet? Don't worry about pushing them gators around if you have to. They won't bite. Okay. Look for this costume. I guess this is introducing us to how we can get new costumes, how we can find new costumes, be able to equip them. And new costumes will, if I'm reading this correctly, well, I also know what happened in the previous Costume Quest, but what this game itself is telling us so far, the costumes are directly related to our abilities in combat. So our superhero costume lets us be a fully realized superhero in the combat, while the candy corn costume lets us be a fully realized candy corn in combat. So as we can see, Monty's gators ripped up his costume. He wants me to get them back. I need to find Monty's costume pieces. There's also the witch hunt, a more long-term quest. We need to find the witches with the talisman before Dr. White does. Maybe someone here knows how to get to the witches. Okay. So I'm guessing that oh, I forgot. I think the game did introduce us to the roller skates to allow us to get through, move around more quickly, but as I was starting up, wasn't really paying that much attention. That's okay. Figured that out. Anyway, this will be a nice quick way to zip around the world. Keep looking for those costume pieces. Well, this looks like a gating gator. Oh, if I'm reading this right, looks like one of those gators there has a costume piece. But before I make my way into there, I think I will look around this environment a little bit more. Monty's Gator Giddy Up. cute little environment. Oh, it's a piñata. And tons of candy. Okay. So far. Alright, looks like all of the costume pieces might be in here, at least for now. So, let's get in there, do this initial quest. Wonder if this will mean we'll have to do combat with them, I don't know. Nope, just collecting costume pieces. Okay. Oh, there's another costume piece, yay! Alright, is that it? Let's go to the costume. And looks like that is collected. However, I guess I need to bring it over to the right person before the costume will be totally completed. So far, on the right track, having a little bit of fun. I like this very, very nice tonal shift from the previous games I've been playing. I like this lighthearted comedy, this fun children's adventure based on child's imagination. One of the reasons why I really enjoyed the original costume quests. Brings out the inner child in me. Alright, so let's see what this costume will do. We found your costume pieces, I think. There's alligator drool on some of it. My clown costume. Halloween is saved! There you go. Your Halloween is saved, but Halloween in the future is doomed. What you mean? It's a long story, but we're here to save it. We just need to find a coven of witches guarding a talisman somewhere around here. You mean them bog witches? I can show you where they are. You just gotta rustle up a boat. Okay. So now I guess we have a new party member. Let's see what this costume is all about. Oh, there we are. So, clown. Focus. He's a healer. Okay, sure. I don't know what exactly constitutes a clown being a healer, but you know, we'll see what that means. Focus in action. I guess there is always a place for inaction in combat. Particularly just a health sponge, a wall, powerful attacks. So exploration ability. Like this costume has an additional ability in the outside of combat area, where Squeaky Horn. Monty lent us this costume after we helped him round up the pieces from his gators. Okay, not sure what the Squeaky Horn means. But find out later what it means. Save really quickly. Now I think I have I suppose a theory, a hypothesis, only fitting for this playthrough, as to why the world area is more realistic, and I guess that's supposed to contrast to the combat areas where it brings out the more where the kids' imaginations come to life. That's where we can see the more animated styles come to more fully realized state. So maybe the sort of more grounded, realistic, well, not totally realistic. I mean, it has its own art style in itself, but it's definitely not as cartoony as the characters themselves. So it might be because the game wants to achieve a sort of contrast between the real world environments and the combat, which is more larger than life and based on the child's imaginations. It's kind of a cool thing if that is true. I'm guessing that is right. All right, so what am I doing right now? Not quite sure. Let's see. All right, here we go. Okay, Monty, get your gator out of the way. That's not one of mine. I ain't going near her. Well, how do you move a gator? You can try using my squeaky horn. They really hate the sound of this thing. Okay, let me try in that clown costume. Hold right trigger and use L and A to change the clown costume. Okay, so I can change costumes at will. Kind of neat. Let's do that. Okay, so... Alright, so circular menu. Different part of the interface I haven't seen before. At least not in this game. Might have been in the previous game, but allows you to hot swap costumes at will. So right now I have this costume. Strong versus magic. It even gives you a lot of information about the costumes up front. So I don't have to do a lot of research or experimentation necessarily, although of course using them in practice in the combat itself would still be a little bit more necessary. So I've got to switch over to the clown costume to be able to use that ability. And now I can press B to use your costume ability. That'll allow us to do stuff in the, you know, the overworld environment. The, you know, outside of combat, the costumes also have their own special functions. Okay. Keep on going here. Looking for witches, huh? You're gonna need a boat. Dang, you look cadaverous. I'm a skeleton kid. Get over it. You've got a boat? Sure do, and I'll take you right to them for a price. Keep talking. Came here for candy, but these human grown-ups are stingy. They just scream and slam the door in my face. You need to fill up my pail with candy and bring it back to me. Trick or treat at every house and bring me a mother load. Then we can talk about going to the barn to see those witches. You want us to trick or treat, huh? I think we can manage that. I mean a ton. So much candy that you're embarrassed to be seen with it. I'll wait for you at the dock in town. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly how much candy we need. No, I guess that might be what the indicator on the bottom right or bottom left tells us how much candy we'll need. Okay, so it looks like we're in a larger environment now. And our goal, our quest is more, you know, straightforward. Trick or treat. Of course, we're in a Halloween in the past where Halloween still exists, and we are going to trick or treat our hearts out to complete our quest. So it looks like I need to trick or treat at all the houses in the bayou before Little Bones will let us use his boat. And it looks like there are 18 houses to trick or treat. Alright, so there's also lots of environmental stuff where we can collect candy as well. Just keep bashing them with our bag here. We can get some smaller amounts of candy. You will never get the talisman. Okay, so we're jumping right into combat. Someone else is wearing a superhero costume. Now they get their own superhero look. So now I am the clown here. Do this bounce attack. There's also the crony machinist and the crony combatant. Try a regular attack here. Too soon. Gotta get used to the timing. Okay. Nope, still doing it too early. Too early on. But I will get used to it soon. For sure. Oh no! Poisoned, huh? Laughter is the best medicine. Let's see. Should I use that right now? Might be, special attack. Let's see what that means. Okay, we all heal up. Nice. And I'm cured of the poison as well. There, I got it right that time. Nice. Okay, so regular power attack, that's all I can do right now. There we go. Really gotta get rid of this candy corn costume, gotta find a new one. Okay, so nice. I wonder if the got a new item. Interesting. Level up, nice. See how much more to this environment there is. Looks like this one is pretty big compared to the initial environment. Okay, so there's a hide and seek side quest as well. Dueling. So much new things to discover this game. So picking up a lot of quests along the way just by exploring the environment. So still in a sort of discovery phase of the game where I'm learning what kind of activities are there to do in the game besides, you know, what's apparent. Slowly discovering that along the way. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed by all the things to do, all the things, of course, but slowly but surely will wrap my head around everything. I mean, it's not that complicated a game anyway, so shouldn't take too long. Alright, that's true, I'm also the humblest, but I'm known more for being the best. Anyway, that looks like you have an instrument. That looks like an instrument you have there. Do you dare challenge me to a duel? This squeaky horn? It's not really a musical instrument. Oh, I thought you were a clown at first, but it turns out you're actually a chicken. Buck, buck, buck. Okay, game on. It's going to feel good to take your pterodactyl pattern. Wonder what this is all about. Is that all you got? Interesting technique, but see if we can handle this. I somehow doubt we're gonna win this challenge. I could be the best clown horn player in the world, or the worst, who knows. How about we call it a draw? I'll give you that pterodactyl pattern, and you keep this between us. Sounds fine to me, we both know who really won anyway. We do? Who was it? Me, right? Or you? How can you even tell? Alright, definitely loving that. Seems really silly. Got a costume pattern. Pterodactyl. What's a pterodactyl? It's an awesome flying dinosaur. Let's look around for materials so we can build it. Alright, so it looks like that's how we get our costumes built, assembled in going forward. We find a pattern, collect it from somebody in the world, and then we assemble the pattern by collecting items in the environment. hey, I actually learned something to do that prior experience actually meant we could use our horn on other gators in the world, and they will do the same thing. They'll move out, and looks like we're gonna get a nice reward for that. See what that means. Got a costume material, greenish yellow fabric. Wonder if that belongs to the pterodactyl. Yeah, it does. It does, as a matter of fact. So, looks like there are a bunch of little puzzles to do surrounding, around the environment, and if we solve those small puzzles, we get rewarded with little pieces, collectibles along the way. So right now, I am surprised just by how much, or how big the environments are, especially right up front. Seems like it's very big, much larger than the previous game, and trying to wrap my head around how I'm supposed to figure out this. So it looks like the environments as well also seamlessly connect to each other. I'm already in a new environment here, and I could totally leave that first area and continue on here. Now, might be something nice to do. Wonder if this is actually one of the kids hiding. Same quest. Let's see. Man, how did you know it wasn't a Halloween decoration? Okay, so it is part of that same quest. Save here. Yeah, well, right now I'm really surprised about how big these environments are and how they connect to each other very seamlessly. I mean, I thought that bayou area was large in its own right, and even then there are other large environments connecting to that environment too. Some weird kid with braces was following me, but I gave him the slip. Alright, maybe I want to go back. I don't want to head too far ahead for where I want to go. Maybe I want to actually explore this one a little bit more. Get everything done here, and then systematically go through other environments. If I probably activate combat by going that way. Let's see. Looks like I'm back in the bayou again. Wow, this is a pretty big environment. I'm very impressed by how large this is. Another kid. Hide and seek. Feel like the trees are looking at me. Okay. I think there are more houses here. Well, lots to do. So, judging by the size of the environment, maybe the best thing to do here would be to sort of go about it in a more methodical manner. Let's do everything one by one rather than just exploring at random. Start closer to the beginning here. Alright, so yeah, I looped all the way around. This is the beginning. I don't think there's anything left to do here, right? Right, I don't think so. So I wonder if I go back to these gators here, will they... No, it doesn't affect them. It's just great gators that are blocking a specific pathway that I have to worry about, that I use the horn on. So much to do. I'm trying to... Okay, maybe I want to start here. Seems like this is a nice little place to start. Poof, okay, so I think now we can actually take a moment, take a breather. Let's see. Describe. I don't know, there's a lot I could talk about. I'm not sure where to even start here. I might even want to rather let the game take me where it will go. Go with the flow, so to speak. I think there are a lot of hidden crevices around the environment. Not much. Not much to find right now, but later on might be rewarded by doing that exploration around, you know, the back of houses and whatnot. Hello, I'm the future richest person in the world. Is that right? Yep, one day I'm going to dredge up this dumpy swamp, cover it with tract houses. I need to get semi-rich first, though. It takes money to make money, you know. Well, good luck with that. You look like a savvy investor to me. If you want to make some candy, come talk to me later. Okay. So, judging by the time travel plot, I'm sure that might even come into play later on. I am Candy's fiercest predator. Alright. Wow, neat costumes, guys. Thanks, you too. Oh, this isn't a costume. I have to wear it to straighten my teeth. Okay. Alright, so one thing we might want to do is continue on with the main objective, and that is actually trick-or-treating at houses. Let's talk to